Okay, let's start out here with the bold team, and you can actually go click on these and get the chart. So let's go start out with Baba and click on that and take a look at the chart real quick here. And reason this here is on the bold team is because we see what I would interpret as an ascending triangle. As you see those higher lows coming up here off of that moving average, which appears to be the 50-period moving average. You got a doji signal candle in there and a solid resistance zone out there at 85. You want to put your triggers out above the resistance to trigger in. You can scale in. You can start picking it up above the candlestick high, add to the position as it takes out resistance. And then for targeting, we'd want to go for about the backside of the triangle here, which is about 75 to 85. That's about 10 points. So when you look at that, 10 points, that would give us a target of about 95 out here. So that's what we want to look at for a full swing trade. For a day trade, you probably want to look for about an ATR pop. So let's go ahead and back out to the next one and look at PAYC. And this one is in the stock report here as a bullish candidate because it is trading on the bottom of the channel. And in otherwise, you're seeing at the bottom of the channel. Today we got a hammer candlestick. We're looking for upward confirmation. Aggressive trigger would be above today's candlestick high. A more conservative trigger would be above 40. And as far as targeting goes, for a full swing, we're looking for the top of the channel. For shorter terms, pop, you might be shooting for 41 or any of the other numbers here, like 42, for example. But reasonable target. Stop losses below support, below the candle. Okay, let's drop out and look at IDTI. And this one is in our report because it is a retracement down into the moving average. You can see here it's pulled down into the known support resistance zone right there at the moving average. Kind of a long, leisurely retracement, and it's in that little area between the moving averages. We need an upward confirmation in price. And a simple target would be to shoot for resistance up to around 30 bucks or so. Be a good basic approach on that. Make sure we zoom in on that a little bit more. Okay, let's go look at the next one there. Smith & Wesson is on our report here because it is a consolidation pattern off of retracement. So you had a big pop here above resistance, a lot of volume, obviously news driven, and retracement, profit taking on that, waning volume, consolidation. We want to see a breakout on that. We want to see a continuous upward move. Aggressive triggers would be above candlestick. More conservative would be out here above 2250 or so, where you'd be looking to trigger above those resistance points. And then you take a slightly more conservative target. You'd expect it to do about 61.8% of that big run. So if that went from, call it 18 to 24, so you're calling that a 6-point move, you'd expect it to move about 61% of that. So that'd probably put you out toward around 27 or so on the target, 26 or so on that end. Stop losses below candlestick lows, ATR distance, and that should be a good candidate. Let's take a look at PLAY. This is Dave & Buster's. And this one has some overhead resistance to it, but it's coming up into that $42 price point. And another bit of resistance out at 43. So we're looking to see if it can break out. I'd be looking to scale in, add maybe a single contract above 42 or stock position above 42. Add to that position if it clears 43. And as far as targeting goes, you could use wave techniques based off of here to here to forecast out your targets, or you could use giant cup type techniques like cup and handle, where you use Fibonacci's off of the size of the cup. to come up with the targets without overthinking it. 45 is an easy target. Depth of the cup is about 10 points. Well, you got 35 all the way out to, call it 42, so about 7 points. So, that'd put you out towards 49, even up to 50, but that's pretty optimistic. In the near term, I'd expect it to challenge that $43 resistance, and you break out. Next stop, probably 45 before it slows down. Let's drop out and look at Facebook. Kind of an inside consolidation here. This one's on the Investors Business Daily top stock list, as are a couple of the others. You got a nice, strong moving average move here and kind of a symmetrical consolidation pattern, but in a predominant uptrend. And so, as we expect, they may not break out this week, but looking to trigger in above trend line, and depending on, you can start triggering in at 107. If you want to trigger in above that pivot point at 107.75, that would be a good trigger. Stop losses on the other side of the candlesticks, and use the ATR as a gauge on where to place the stop loss. As far as targeting goes, you can use the back side of the triangle, which looks like it's about a 10-point range. So that'd be shooting for targets about 115. And then we got Alaska Airlines. And Alaska Airlines here is on our list because it is a bullish retracement, and cost of fuel is really low. So we got a bullish retracement. Airline stocks in general have this setup. Oil prices are way low. Fuel prices, therefore, I think profit margins be higher. And you got that retracement, some bullish candlesticks. Kind of playing wait and see for confirmation here. But look for upward confirmation. Resistance targets is obvious, and then longer term target would be around 90, but not much more. I'd probably say, channel wise, it'd probably get up towards 88, 89 and start to run into some resistance out in there for sure. Now let's come in here, got the closing bell there, and do last but not least AHS. This one is off of a fundamental stock screener, and it's really based off of some of the fundamental strength for it. This is not just purely a technical pick. It's in a consolidation pattern in general, and let's see if I can get that to play nice. There we go. So I'm seeing consistently higher lows through here, but you're also seeing some lower highs, and so you're in a really big pinch down. And just due to the fundamental strength is where I'd expect this one to break out. I'd be looking to trigger in above 31. As far as targets go, just use your typical resistance points to target out the backside of the triangle. But of course, keep in mind it can always run in smaller angles, but that would give you about a $35 target if you were to look at it from that perspective. Use ATR as a gauge for stop losses, and always watch out for the whipsaw on those. And then that does it for the Bulls team. So we'll go ahead and stop that, and we'll do a quick recording for the Bears team.